Well, good morning, everybody. It is November 2nd. And it's about 10 degrees. It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. Still very dark. Won't get daylight till a little after 9:15, 9:30, something like that. We're headed out to the farm. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got the vehicles warmed up. Got co-pilot with me this morning. He wanted to go. My big boy. And yes, the truck has a chirp. Needs a belt and some things. We'll get to that. It's gonna be a pretty day. It's clear. See some stars. The one nice thing about having fresh snow on the road, it sure does brighten things up. And another bonus this year, as they continue to work out by the Ag Project, they'll keep the 6-mile road plowed for part of the winter. And it's important to stay alert and watch out for trucks and equipment on the road. Just a loader headed to work. And as I've mentioned before, everybody on these construction crews has been great. They're very courteous and polite, which we always try to return the favor. Made it out to the farm and they are already working away. The sun has just started to come up over the horizon, but these guys have got a lot to get done, so they definitely get started well before daylight. Well, it's 10 o'clock. The sun's mostly up. Got Dave up and running, so he's out mulching. Making a quick run back into town from the farm. Between keeping the road plowed and the traffic on it, it is hard and smooth. Dusty had a lot of fun running around out at the farm. Now it's nap time. Happy dogs. We're up on the hill where they're building the new road. And by this time of year, there's a foot of frost or maybe a little more. But under that frost, the material is still soft, which allows them to dig it out of the hill and take it to where they need to work on the road.
Hopefully this will wear them out. You can fly the drone.
The dogs always have so much fun exploring and playing together. I think they may enjoy their time out here on the farm just as much as we do, if not a little more. As you see in so many of our videos, here's some more grouse. They happen to be hanging out in some barley right next to the trailer where we work on the equipment. Okay, November 3rd. It hasn't been super cold. 10 degrees, 20 degrees. Maybe a little close to zero a few nights. The river is slowly freezing. We're not long now from the river freezing over. The next time we get some substantial sub-zero temperatures, the river will go ahead and freeze over. That's one of the benefits of this bridge. This time of year, until the river froze solid enough to cross by foot or snow machine, the other side of the river would have been inaccessible. Hi, Rosie. How are you? Got a Dusty in there, and then Belle's in the back. Good morning, everybody. It is November 9th, about 8 o'clock. Sun is just coming up. Last weekend was daylight savings time. That changes things a little bit for us. It is a little cool this morning, about 10 degrees, but not too bad. Going to be a beautiful day. Headed out to the farm, see what kind of trouble we can get into. Hope everybody's having a good one. Gonna be another amazing sunrise. One thing about living in the interior of Alaska, most of the days are cloud-free. Although that does mean for some pretty chilly days, the payoff is some wonderful sunrises and sunsets. And here we are, a week later, and the grouse are still in the barley. They definitely enjoy all that extra food. One of the other benefits of having beautiful, clear days is being able to look out across the farm at the tallest peak in North America. It never disappoints with how spectacular it is. Not a whole lot going on out on the farm. It is cold, it is frozen. We're still clearing a little bit of land, a few days a week, as long as the weather's holding above zero. No real reason to fight the equipment. Lots and lots of grouse, mostly sharp-tail, as you can see. And they're just everywhere out here. Lots of tracks. Pretty exciting to see them eating the grain and how many there are. It's kind of neat for sure. So again, just not a lot to do. It's that time of year. Current temperature looks like about, well, maybe 9 degrees and about a 5 or 6 mile an hour wind. Without having any livestock or anything like that going on, it is the interior of Alaska. We don't tend to get a lot of snow, so there's not any snow removal that needs to happen. Pretty mellow out here on a November day. We've got a burn pile alongside where they're building the road. That would be kind of nice to burn, but we definitely don't want to be smoking them out. So we were up here last week, and over the week got maybe an inch of snow. As we pull up on last year's cornfield, spooked quite a few ravens. So far, they haven't bothered anything in the summer. They've only been interested in the cornfield in the wintertime. Ravens are a very resourceful bird and highly intelligent. It only makes sense that one of them would discover the corn left in the field, and that would attract the attention of the others. Well, I took a moment to get out and see exactly what's going on. There's a fair bit of activity in the field. The ravens for sure, and it looks like probably a fox. And I have no doubt there are some mice or voles or lemmings that are partaking of the corn as well. And that definitely would attract a fox or a coyote. Every time you come out to the field after a fresh snow, It's a surprise to see what has left tracks out in the field. It actually broken them off and picked them. As I'm out checking out the field, one of the off-road trucks goes by. It's a fairly small crew on this job. 2 off-road trucks, a couple of dozers, and a fairly large excavator. But they're getting it done. Well, it is such a beautiful day, and we don't have a lot of snow out here. This is a great opportunity to take a minute and make a little road trip. We're just headed out of the farm now. We'll pass by the flatbed trucks, and we'll go by the trailer where we keep the equipment stored, and make our way back to the Nenana-Tukchakit Road, the main road that comes to the farm. And we need to get going because we're going to lose our daylight pretty quick. And all the snow's worn off the road where they're traveling back and forth with the equipment. But as soon as we pass the construction, we're back to snow. We've made our way a few miles down the road. We're in what's called Phase 1B. This is the next 2,000 acre selection of ag land to be auctioned. Don't know as if I've ever taken you guys out here. It's a water well that was used for the oil exploration. This is where one of the drill rigs were located. There's 2 of these pads out in this ag project. The terrain here is fairly similar to where the farm currently is, but the further we get away from the leading edge of the sand dunes, they tend to mellow a bit, and the hills become more rolling. It doesn't take much imagination to look at this landscape of these gently rolling hills to see the potential for some wonderful farmland. I'm going to speed some of this up a little bit. I like to show the road and the scenery, but I know everybody can only take so much of me bouncing down a remote farm road. They're preparing to put in some test wells to see what the groundwater is like. There's a spot where they just brought some gravel in and made a pad, so when the well driller's ready, there's a place for them to set up. As far as timing, this area is about right for clearing. The fire either burned off most of the big timber or killed it and tipped it over. And that definitely gives the farmer an advantage to getting the land cleared relatively quickly and into production. This is pretty much what most of the ground's like. Here's a property line. If you'd like an opportunity to bid on some agricultural land, you can go to the State of Alaska Department of Natural Resources website. You can find information on current land that is for sale and keep tabs on when the state is going to have more agricultural land auctions. And I highly encourage anybody who is interested in any of the land auctions to let the state know. Drop them an email showing your interest. And when it comes to the agricultural auctions, it doesn't matter if you're a state resident or a non-state resident, you can bid. So we just came off of a spur or a side road called Shady Lane that goes up to that drill pad. Now we're headed west on the Nenana-Tukchakit Road. So everything on the right side is going to be land that's in the auction. mile 10. So we're 4 miles past the farm. We're now past where the next auction is going to be held. So currently the land on both sides of the road is undeveloped state land. It is in the proposed agricultural area, and as long as there's continued interest in the ag land and parcels continue to sell, the state has plans to develop the agricultural development further west. The state is going to put in a couple of test wells to see what the water levels like, quantity, quality, all that stuff they need to know. And that way people coming out here to put farms in know what the water's like. So they basically just moved the trees out of the way. And since they're already doing road work at the ag project at 1A, they can go ahead and come out and put these in real quick. That way whenever the drill rig can get out here, they've got good ground to bring it in and put the well in. So it's kind of cool. We're about mile 12 and a half of Nenana-Tukchakit Road. So a little over 6 miles from the farm. And again, this is nothing more than some good solid ground to get the drill rig in. They don't want to get stuck. They don't want to have any problems. Can't blame them for that. We do get cell service even out here, which is nice. And although the road has been in place for quite a few years now, I'm still blown away and amazed at the ability to drive a vehicle out to where just a few years ago was inaccessible unless you were on foot or on snow machine. Definitely amazing. That's going to about wrap it up for this video. On this cool November day, I went about as far as I was comfortable going. And when I came to the spot where the grader had stopped maintenance on the road, and there's a point out here when you get behind the hills, you no longer have cell service, I figured it was time to turn around and head back to town. We sure would like to thank everybody for watching. Subscribe if you like what you see, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody out here on the farm next time. Bye-bye.